First, it was out of necessity when I tried to wholesale and it didn't work. And I was really confused. I had buyers coming to the property and they said, no, it needs to be lower. And I'm like, I don't believe you. Again, I said, I don't think so. I think this is a deal. And so I was like, I'll just buy it. Maybe it was being stubborn. I bought it myself and put the property on the market, cleaned it up, and ended up making 40K on it.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today we're joined by Jacob Bopst, real estate investor and operator behind the Capital Formula, focused on wholesale strategies and building lean, high-margin deal flow. He specializes in generating strong profits, often 40K plus per deal, while keeping marketing spend lean, mean, typically under 2,000 per month. And his approach centers on efficient systems, disciplined operations, and maximizing value through wholesale. Jacob, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for that introduction, Bill. And that was, I really appreciate that. Spot on exactly what I do. So thank you very much for that. And I'm glad to be here.
Great to have you on here. Wholesale specifically is interesting. What led you into that as a primary strategy?
Yes. First, it was out of necessity when I tried to wholesale and it didn't work. And I was really confused. I had buyers coming to the property and they said, no, it needs to be lower. And I'm like, I don't believe you. Again, I said, I don't think so. I think this is a deal. And so I was like, I'll just buy it. Maybe it was being stubborn. I bought it myself and put the property on the market, cleaned it up, and ended up making 40K on it when I was trying to meagerly squeeze 5 or 10K from an M buyer when I realized, took it down myself stubbornly and made 40K. And I said, there might be something to this. So that was kind of the starts of it, Dylan.
Now, wholesale, I think, has a number of different connotations. And I've also heard people use wholesale interchangeably with novation. What is wholesale?
Yeah. So there's a difference between wholesale and novations. Big difference. And I do novations as well. I just recently closed a novation in Florida and got a nice 35 grand gross profit off that. So novation's an awesome strategy. I do essentially three things. I do wholesale, novations, and wholesale. Um, Wholetail, think about it like fix and flip, but you don't fix it. You just buy it, put it on the market, put in less than 5 grand if you can. That's like the best ones. And it doesn't matter if it's nasty, falling down, it doesn't matter. The point is to put it on the open market instead of just select end buyers that you know of and you can see from like tax records. Put it out there and market it just like a real estate agent would market it. And I do use a real estate agent. So that's wholesale. Buy it, control it yourself, list it on the market, sell it. That's wholesale. Novations, completely different. Love novations because there's like zero risk involved. Wholesale, there's a lot of money risk involved because you're buying it yourself. You're assuming that risk. You got the closing costs. You got to put money up front to buy it, renovations, holding costs, all that stuff. But for novations, I love novations because it's like zero risk. You're risking nothing because you have in the contract where you can get out. However, explaining what a novation is, Dylan, is simply telling the seller that, hey, I'm going to market and sell the property for you. It stays in your name.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I'm kind of your liaison. We're partnering up. I'm going to list it using my team, my resources, and I'm going to sell the property. You just sit back, worry about what you're doing, next steps for you, and I'll handle everything else. So it's
Now,
still me.
what condition does a property need to be in to confidently wholesale it without a full rehab? Can it be in a distressed state, or are most wholesales closer to something that's rental grade or even flip grade?
You get the most when it's able, and the biggest thing's not it's not rental grade or flip grade. It's really um, FHA qualified grade. So it's if the loan, if somebody can get a loan on that property, so it could be like really outdated, ugly, but it's clean and it would qualify for an FHA loan. That's when you're going to get the most. That's when you get the most, and that's like the biggest ones, because you can buy at a large discount because you're going to have to do upgrades. But FHA financing, an end buyer who wants to do the work themselves but likes the neighborhood, they're going to be able to pay the most, and that's who you want to target. But it doesn't mean you can't do it with a teardown. It's all about where you buy it, if you buy it deep enough. But for me, it's either way. It doesn't matter.
Now, without giving away all the gold here, because this is really the secret
I'll give
sauce here.
away gold. Also, I don't care. I'll give it away. Like you ask a question, I'll answer honestly. Yeah.
When folks are going direct to seller with the wholesale strategy, if that property is able to be listed, right, in the condition that it's in, what's the conversation like with the seller why they should sell to you versus list it themselves?
Exactly. And I love this question because you always, this is my biggest hang up when I first got started, because I asked that same question, like, why would someone do this when maybe they could do it themselves? The problem is everybody has a different goal. Everyone has a different thing. Some people might be fed up and want nothing to do with it. Some people might be out of the country. Some people just maybe don't even want to try to learn how to do it, or maybe somebody had a bad experience and they want you to do it for. You never know, and so that's really important. Like in my sales conversation, I always ask the questions of that exact question. I say, hey, it seems like a pretty nice property. You probably is there a reason you don't just list it with a real estate agent? You ask that question, and then they'll tell you. They'll say why. And it's typically because, I had a bad experience one time. I just don't trust them. Or I want to be, if I can, I want to be discreet and I just want to get this done. I don't want to have to interview agents. I don't want to have a bunch of people coming through my house. Whatever it is, they'll tell you, but you need to ask the question. So that to answer your question, everybody's different.
Now, how long are you typically holding a wholesale deal before resale? What's that time period like? And, once it's listed, are these deals moving quickly?
Yeah, and this is all a lawyer answer on this. It depends. Uh, so the way I structure it, the way I do it is you want to buy deep enough where when you market it, you don't want to try to market it where it's at full retail value. You want to market it at a super deal. So people in the market see it and say, this is a screaming deal. Like, what is this? Almost all my wholesales that I've done, the price gets bid up. And I actually end up getting more than I would have thought I would have. So I list low. So number one, you have a lot of activity. Number two, it goes quick. Number three, you can probably get over your asking price anyways. And the market will always bring it to where it is. But when people get in a bidding war, Sometimes you even sell it for more than if you had it up there and it gets stale and then you're sitting and you have holding costs, holding costs, holding costs. So for me, the average is about from start to finish, like 3 months.
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
On average.
Now, you're closing on these deals yourself or with
Correct.
part. So this does require cash.
It
You know,
requires capital.
when folks are looking at exactly how they're going to get off the ground, getting into that on ramp of real estate investing,
Yeah.
where does wholesale fit in versus wholesale?
Yeah. Yeah. Great question. And you can do wholesale. It does require money. So for my deals, like I use a hard money lender for the majority of my deals. And I found one, and there's a lot out there to choose from, but they do 100% on the purchase price and 100% on the renovation cost. All you have to pay is the closing costs. So typically I'll be like $20,000-$30,000 total in a deal per deal.
Hmm.
Now that's and people say, "I don't have 30 grand." Well, at one point, neither did I. You can also find other people's money, or you could get a HELOC loan on a property, or, you could max out a credit card if you really want to take a risk. I did that one time. Don't recommend that, but you could do it, if you're hungry and you have a good deal and you can sell it. But you can find the money, or you can go to your uncle, your aunt, and you can get the money. So you can do it. I will say you can definitely do it without money. You just need other people's money, not your money, somebody else's money. Wholesale is a great entry point, so are novations, because you don't need any money. You don't need any money. Wholesale, you bring in somebody who has the money, they're buying it, you just connect to, you're selling the contract, right? So that's wholesaling has always been a nice entry for people, but your spreads are going to be a lot lower because that end buyer needs to make the profit and you don't have control. You got to count on them to close. But if you don't have any money, like you just said, in the difference between the two of them, wholesale is a great starting point. Uh,
I never thought about using hard money for wholetail, but what a great idea. I mean, if this doesn't require substantial rehab or sometimes any
yep,
rehab, and you take out 100% financing, like including rehab, but there's no rehab,
yep.
and hey, this is a screaming deal, that's a win win.
Yep, exactly. And if they're so quick, like the holding cost isn't really a big deal. So that's the biggest thing with hard money. Now, the best scenario if you're doing this is if you can find a private money lender. So somebody who can just do kind of a straight like 12, 13, 14% without extra fees. Because hard money lenders, pro tip for anyone listening, they always charge like upfront fees, like loan origination fees, underwriting fees, like big ones up front, and sometimes some on the back end too. Plus, they have the super high interest. It'd be better to just borrow from a family member, of course, or another private money investor where you just get like straight interest, and they'd be happy with like 14%, but it'd be way cheaper than a hard money lender, and you have more control.
Now, light rehab situations in a wholesale deal, what minimal work do you decide to do in certain situations versus listing it as is?
Another great question, Dylan. Great question. It just shows like your stuff because you're asking like really smart question. Yes. So for me, I always clean out the junk, make sure it's empty. Number one, and that's not expensive to do to pay someone to do that. And make sure there's no active leaks. That's
Hmm.
pretty much it.
How important is staging in these situations?
Not important at all.
Hmm. People are walking through. Is it investors looking for these deals or is it a mix? You'll get investors and folks looking for their homestead.
Yes. Correct. Both of them. And when you say staging, I'm not saying don't get professional photography. I'm
Yeah.
saying like don't spend money to put like couches and make these houses are going to need work. That's why you got a discount. They're going to be need some love, but definitely always get the best professional photography that you can do, as that sells houses nowadays.
Now, I'm also imagining the relationship with the realtor or broker is important as well, because if you have a screaming deal and you know that there could potentially be a bidding war, you want someone who's going to be versed in that versus someone who might not be as strong. It could actually trigger the opposite.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Why is this property listed so low? And suspicion, right?
And I'll add on to that question too, to put in another unknown with realtors is you want to make sure because I do deals in like areas I don't even know about. Like I'll do this virtually. Like I have no clue. You always want to try to find a real estate agent when you're doing your research that has some investment experience and understands the costs of things. Cause I always have a realtor go out there to check the value of it before I close on it to make sure that when I do close on it, I can list it where I'm think I am, so I can have a profit. So you want to have an agent that you pick that is experienced, been doing it for a while, knows the area like the back of their hand. You don't want to hire someone that lives in New Jersey for Pennsylvania. You don't want to do that. You want someone that's in that market, lives down the street, because they're also kind of your boots on the ground. Realtors are great like that because they will go to work for you because they want their commission, which unfortunately a lot of people take advantage of that with realtors. And I can say that because I was a real estate agent when I first got started. I had a license. Um, However, picking the right agent is extremely important, and you want someone with investment experience for sure.
Now, what is the biggest risk in wholetailing? Because
Okay.
I'm imagining if you're acquiring these deals at the right price and you're seeing what's out there on market and you can list it at the right price, it seems low risk. But what maybe are some unforeseen risks that people wouldn't anticipate?
The big risk is you're putting a lot of money up front. Even if it's not your money, there's still a lot of money on the line. And what if something went wrong, like the house is like falling down for something, or like the foundation, maybe you missed it, and the house doesn't sell for what the biggest risk is the house not selling for what you think it's going to sell. Even with getting the real estate agent's opinion, even with doing it all, like it could be there. And so you got to make sure you buy really, really deep on these to make sure if it is as unforeseen things pop up. Like for example, I had a deal that came up where this is a learning lesson for me and anyone else. Always double check the driveway is actually on your property. And if it's not on your property, make sure there is an easement in the deed. I bought a property once where the driveway was not on, it was like grandfathered in, I thought, but I didn't verify. And it was on someone else's property. So I had to put in a whole new driveway. Luckily, there was enough room because it could have been landlocked and then I really would have been screwed. That would have been a scenario where I'm done. But luckily, it had access to the road. I had to spend extra money on that deal to put a driveway in it to get it sold. So those are the risks.
Now, we are coming up on time here, Jacob. Any new projects that you're working on? And then, as well, what's the best way for folks to reach out to you?
Yeah. So what I've been focusing on really is just honing my craft. Essentially, what I do is I pay for leads to be sent to me. I close on those deals, and I do one of those three strategies: PPL, leads coming in, pay per lead, wholetail, novation, wholesale, like we mentioned. And I use Go High Level with a lot of my automations for my CRM. And I really just try to hone that process because I do my business myself. So it's like I'm everywhere, but I'm not. Sending texts, being a one man operation, Go High Level is really cool for making those things. And I spent years kind of developing that for my systems. So I'm really just honing in that, locking that. My goal this year is to get to about 350,000 um, in revenue. So far, I'm at like 180,000 so far this year. So I think I'm going to do it. Uh, so I'm just really locking that in. And then in the future, I'm building a team and I'm going to teach people how to do this and actually build a business. Right now, this is a job. I'm doing it. Um, but in the future, I'm going to build a business. And for anybody that wants to reach out and get a hold of me, they can go to my Instagram at Jacob Bopst, or you can try to look me up on Facebook, send me a message. Hopefully, if you get value out of this, let me know. Also, if you want to learn what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, I also offer a course that I developed. You can find that at thecapitalformula.com. And that's thecapitalformula.com.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.